Hey traders, thank you for joining another 24FX Academy weekly analysis video. I'm Travis. Today we'll be talking about the dollar index, the euro index, Switzerland index, also talking about the bonds market, or as you already know, I like to call it the boons market, gold futures, oil futures, US dollar CAD, US dollar Switzerland franc, US dollar Japanese yen, and my personal favorite, the euro US dollar. So let's first jump into what we have here for the US dollar Canadian. So this is what we have on a weekly chart. And right now we just bounced off this major supply zone. And we'll get into the technicals. But on the weekly, this is actually a great thing. On the week, actually, the US dollar CAD actually was up 63% for the whole week, opening at 1.3104 at a high of 1.3020 and a low of 1.3133. And as you can see here, this was the high on the weekly candle and also the low. So let's see what we have here for this week's COT report. And if you don't know what the COT report is, the commitment of traders, or you can find this on the U.S. Committee Future Trading Commission. So let's see what we have here. Let's scroll down to where the money's at. All right, we have the rubles and Canadian dollars. So compared to last week, for the longs, we actually decrease our long positions on our non-commercial. And if you haven't seen the last week's video, non-commercial are going to be our major banks. And then commercial, we have hedge funds. So let's say if you own a company or a farm, and then you have your non-profitable positions, which are the retail traders, also known as the dumb money. So I like to pay attention to the non-commercial. So right now, what it looks like is they're decreasing on their long positions, showing that, hey, that means they're not confident. They're going to probably keep going short. But also what we have here is a decrease in the short position. So we have a spread of 400. This is a good thing. I'm going to be definitely keeping my eye out, especially looking at the oil futures. Try to make a trading decision based off that and this. And also looking at our weekly bounce. This is showing that we still have a lot of US dollar strength and enough momentum going on. So let's see what we have here on the charts. So I'm going to pull this up here. I don't have my US dollar CAD levels set up here, but it's fine. We already have them on the other chart. So let's see what we have here. US dollar CAD. Now, last week, we didn't have any major news that I can think of. So let's see what we have on trading economics for the past week. Let's go to this week. This week opened at the 15th. So there we go, October 15th. Any major news? CAD, no major news for CAD. Even though we had the BOC, this doesn't really affect the market as much. What else do we have for CAD? I know for US dollar, we had the retail sales month. And it wasn't a big change. Actually stayed at the previous levels. What else do we have for the US dollar? Nothing. But the major thing, but it didn't affect the market, was for the US dollar was the FOMC minute. Really wasn't a big effect. If you watched early this week's video on the webinar, we talked about this. Wasn't a major move due to they already had a bias on how they was gonna move the market. So let's see what else we have for US dollar CAD news. A lot of Chinese news for China, and then also Friday we had inflation rates, which actually was lower than previous months' interest rates. And I think this also was the catalyst, if we break it down on the daily, why we had this move back up. Because traders was kind of bearish for this early week for the US dollar, and then US dollar gained its momentum back for the bulls. So let's see what we have here on the 4-hour. So US dollar, 4-hour. Like I said earlier in the week, we started over here on the 15th. Started off very, very bearish. We had this pin bar, and I'll zoom in. Market open, decrease, came as a short, and as the market pushed through, bouncing off this S2 level and also through the cloud, we couldn't really get enough bearish momentum here. So this was a great trade for any traders that did take it in our trading group that saw this move that I posted. Great move all the way to the R2 level. So this is a simple trade this week, which I loved it. Why was I waited for this retracement that we had here off the cloud, and also for the S2 level, which was right about 1.29, great level. And if we look in the past, this also was, bring it over here. This also was a major level of grabbing volume of price. So, which why we also had this bounce, because if you look here in this zone, I'll highlight it. If the highlight tool would work with me and cooperate, same situation, same levels, and we keep coming back to the past, same area. So as a trader, you know, you want to look at the past to really see if you can find any crumbs in the market showing you past options of decreasing your risk. So yeah, like I said, we actually threw this trade into the trade alert, and we made some great profits. Now we're gonna move into the dollar index to see the whole picture and why this was a great move. So if we pull up the dollar index, DXY, see what we have here. On the weekly, we're still bullish, not a strong momentum as bulls, but we're over the 55. We got some consolidation, and last week I really thought we was going to continue as a reversal because of this level and also this pin bar, and I'll illustrate that here. If we can break above this level as bulls, then I will be extremely bullish on the US dollar, but I don't have that confidence. I'm actually really still bearish. I'm just waiting for that setup. So right now we're very mixed, and if we look at this on with the Ichimoku cloud, perfect. See that? Consolidation and resistance right at this level, same resistance level. And me personally, I don't like trading inside the cloud, so right now this shows nothing for me for the US dollar, just like I said last week. So I'm still neutral on the US dollar, but my bias is hoping for some bearish momentum. So let's move forward. We're gonna jump into the bonds market. So let's pull up the bonds information here, or the bonds. So let's get the market, bonds. So the bond market actually moved up for the US dollar for the 2-year bond, actually 1.64% for the week, and it opened at 2.908 at a low of 2.912. I think I have the system reversed actually. I apologize, guys. So we had that as the high to 2.912 and a low of 2.857. And that sounds about right when you speak those numbers a little better. But yeah, so it was actually a good move for the 2-year yield bonds. Great bond move. And then if we look at gold commodities, let's pull up the gold. Gold actually did well this week as well. Let's see what we have here on our charts. So I have the wrong gold futures, but this is crude oil. That's why. Ha ha ha. There we go. Gold. So gold, actually, looking at my numbers here, was up over, if I'm reading this right, 59%. Great for the week. Nice. So yeah, and we look at this move here. This last week's push up, which everybody's still talking about, is gold back. In my opinion, gold is not back, but this is the volume that we need. If we can keep on this momentum for gold, I'm definitely going to continue being very bullish. But we're still not above our 55 level. And like I said last week, I want to get above this zone here. This zone will make me truly a bull. Even if we're not past the 55, I know we're trying to reach to the 55. This will be my cautious level, this yellow area, and I'll highlight it. I'll put a horizontal line. This is going to be my cautious level. If we cannot break this 55, it's just a bad sign. But I'm going to be bullish. I really see that we can get past this 55 moving average within the first quarter of 2019, definitely. So that's what we have for gold. And then now we can get into the futures of oil. So I'm gonna pull up the WTI. And oil did poorly this week. Oil fell 68%. In my opinion, I'm saying 68%, even though the market is saying it's a positive 68. Very sideways. Didn't like the move for oil. Now we're still bullish, but we have some, because the fundamentals of what's going on in Saudi Arabia and then what Trump is planning to do with the U.S. Oil companies, I see a lot of bearish momentum coming in our near future. As gold is pulling up, I can see oil pushing down, raising natural gas prices as well coming with this. So just keep an eye out. My expectations here is going to be in this zone. And we get close to this neckline, definitely going to be shorting towards the 55 moving average. That is my trading bias. And as well, these are my trading ideas. None of this is trading advice, nor is it financial advice. This is just my trading forecast for the coming future. And as we can see, we're usually in a good spot. So let's see what this looks like on talking about forecast on the Ichimoku cloud. So we have a very thin Ichimoku cloud. So this shows me we have less momentum as bulls. So it's a high chance we can continue shorting this to this red zone. So let's move forward. I'm going to look at the Euro index. Same situation here. Even though we broke through the cloud, we could not keep that momentum. But because we have this pin bar, this is going to be my catalyst that I've been looking for. No, I do not trade through the cloud, but this is going to show me, hey, we have some push up. All right. I've been really, really bullish on the euro. I'm just waiting for the perfect setup. But if we can break out of this cloud, touch this 55 and break past the 55, I'm going to be bullish. But this is my zone here. If we can break over this area, I'm definitely going to be bullish. So can't wait. I see the first quarter in 2019 bringing the euro back into speed. And also Switzerland franc will be getting some push as well. If you haven't seen my other videos, as I'm saying, the Japanese yen, just like I predicted last week, it's losing momentum. We have the sideways action, but we're just waiting for that right fundamental news that's going to push the Japanese yen to the floor and bringing the Switzerland franc up And talking about the Switzerland franc, it is now not the weakest currency on this chart compared to last week. It's now in the mix. So, like I said, keeping an eye on the Switzerland franc. It's gonna be pushing up with strength and momentum. So, talking about the indexes, let's get into our currency pairs. First on our list, like we already spoke about, is the US dollar CAD. So, let's look at this on a weekly for next week game plan. So, we're in the cloud, but we close within our blue conversion line. It's a great move. We are out of this zone trying to get to the next gas station of this supply zone. So, if we can get into this area here, past this R1 level and get out this cloud, I'm very, very, very bullish on the US dollar CAD. As I already said, Canadian dollar is going to be very weak, even though as we saw, it was actually mixy, all Canadian pairs. Now, this week, US dollar Canadian was up 63%, as I said earlier. We have a strong uptrend coming up. And if you haven't seen my private videos, this actually is one of my favorite setups on a lower time frame. So seeing it on a bigger time frame is awesome. I call this my 2-in-1 pattern. You have a downtrend, then we have an up, a pull down, and an up again. So it's also very similar to a double bottom or a bat pattern. I just don't use Fibonacci's as I used to, but I have the Fibonacci built into my pivot points. So this is going to be a strong pull up. I see this coming to the R2 level. I'm going to take profit out of that. So that's my trading goal for the coming week. Highlight my take profit area, turn this to green. So then next week we know, hey, I didn't just fake it. This is my take profit area. Measure that. Okay, I guess I'll use the shortcut for the measuring tool. Right about 82 pips. Like I said, I'm not counting from this area. I need to get in this area. So as soon as we get in here, I'm trying to get 82 pips. Not a greedy guy. Let's move forward. So next currency pair, we have US dollar Switzerland franc. Now this is pretty awesome. This week, I was trying to do a quick scout for US dollar Switzerland franc. End up doing a longer hold for this because in the beginning I was actually going to be very, very bearish. But midweek, I saw something I didn't get to see earlier last week, and the volume actually showed off that, hey, we weren't going to stay in this low. So I told my community, hey, let's take this long, get it after this area. Bong, we jumped in. I held until we got to this profit point level and kept holding. It was a great move last week, but then this week we had this retracement down, caught it, jumped in, took profit into this last monthly level. This is something I'm going to continue doing actually on this next coming week. Keep these monthly levels. They're very important, plus part of these pivot levels. So if you do want to learn this strategy, you can actually message me or my partner Paul, which he will be on the webinar tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time. But yeah, this is one of my favorite strategies and setups that I'm really developing strongly. So if we can break out of this R3 level, we're strong bulls. Apologize. Been talking about the market all day and so many bears and other currency pairs. Now, look at this on a weekly. We have a pin bar, enough momentum, and like I said, it looks like we have some US dollar strength coming still. So if we can pass this area and get out of this zone, if we can get out this monthly level, I'm taking this all the way to the R1 level. So let's measure that. $185 pips. Now the Switzerland franc does move a little different. It's a smaller trading currency pair. So honestly, this is going to be a 2-week trade for me. But if we have momentum in volume, I'll take it. But that's my trading goal. I'm trying to get all the way to the R1 level and take it all the way to the top, baby. So that's my goal. So we're going to highlight this as well. Just for documentation. So then, hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But this is my bias. And like I said, even if I had a trading plan, if the market's not giving me what I see, I trade what I see. I don't trade my emotions. It's okay to be wrong as long as you're not taking losses in your profits. And I always wait for confirmations before I take a trade. So it was a great week for US dollar Switzerland franc. Let's move forward to US dollar Japanese yen. Oh, and before we do that, let's look at the COT report to double back that up, that claim. So here we go. Switzerland franc long positions have decreased. Short positions have increased. So with that being said, we're definitely gonna be what? Bullish on the US dollar Switzerland franc. It's not hard. You know, you want to take fundamental news, look at the technicals, confirmation. All right. So we're gonna jump into US dollar Japanese yen. Cool. Let's jump on the weekly. So had a retracement, did not close below the conversion line. We have a very weak cloud. If we cannot break this pivot point level, I'm gonna be probably bearish. But as I said, I gotta go with the main strength of this currency pair. And like I said, I'm waiting for the Japanese yen to fall. So hey, I see this pushing up. So my goal is I'm going to take profit as soon as we pass this, maybe 10 pips above it. If I can get my measuring tool. 10 pips above this area. I'm going to take this to the last high. 165 pips. Let's get our highlighting tool. There we go. And that's it. That's my trading plan for this one. Let's look at fundamental of the commitment traders. Past Mexico, past the pound, Japanese yen. Cool. Longs decreased by 16,000. But our shorts decreased by 31,000. So this is going to have me kind of neutral. I will have to wait and see what we have for volume on Tuesday, confirming where the market really wants to go. So, as I said, Tuesday, I'll have a new update by Tuesday in the trading group. If you want to join on Telegram, you can message me, or it should be in the bottom of the description as well, guys. So, that's my idea. Still very bullish, as long as we can pass this zone. If we cannot pass this pivot zone, I'm not trading it. Just won't. I won't trade it because I have to then pass this cloud. I do not like trading in the cloud. So I don't have a bearish move yet. I just don't have it. Won't lie to you. Let's look at it on the daily. Same situation. Just got to pass this area. 10 pips above. Cool. By the end of Monday's move, if we can be in this area, and still after the euro market closes on Tuesday morning, if we are above this conversion line, perfect. Great potential moves, as long as we have that volume. And this looks like a retracement. We bounced off this 55 on a daily, so I'm definitely going to take this. As long as we break over this pivot point, we have all our different confirmations showing that we're still bullish. All right, my favorite pair. Save the best for last. Euro USD. Oi. So, very bearish, unfortunately. You know, but hey, gotta do what we gotta do. So let's look at this on a weekly. It was a great trade. I took this, shorted it. If you was in the chat group, took this. As soon as we bounced off this area on the daily, I knew, hey, we're in there. So we actually took this trade on Thursday, and actually you can see the trade, if you didn't see the video, on believe it was Wednesday, I already predicted this move. Actually happened. Took the short. It was a beautiful move. Now, I don't have a trading plan yet, but I will have one by Sunday or maybe tomorrow during the webinar. But let's see what we have here. My confirmation I will look for in the euro. So let's see what we have. Guess we're going short. 21 long positions have been taken out. They're not bullish. If they're not bullish, I can't be bullish. So with that being said, if we can bounce off of this on the daily, we need to come back down. If we can get past below this monthly level, under the S2 level, I'm taking profit all the way to S3. So highlight profit zone. Now, to give you an update on where the euro actually moved for the week, it moved 53% lower for the whole week. So, and if you want to know where I get this information from, you can actually go to investing.com. Great source to get fundamental news, technical news, well, technical data, where I'm getting my percentages and highs and lows for the week. As a trader, you need to have all these things, man. I think I'll do a video maybe on Tuesday on trading tips or where to get some cool information. Yeah, we'll do that next week. Well, this was my trading analysis for the week. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up, comment, good or bad, and subscribe, And if you want to join our community, we welcome everybody. New traders, old traders, medium traders. We're just here for everyone. We want to spread love and knowledge to anyone who's willing to learn. So thank you again for watching a 24FX Academy video. Take care.